And here we go, we're getting into our next series, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Golden Hour, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Gaimin Gladiators. It is SHIN. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the American Terran player, the Yellow Terran, representing Berserker Esports. It is Foxer. And you know what time it is if you're in the chat. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will take the series. Best of luck. As a reminder, for the greater context of this series, the winner will advance on to face off against Estrella. Estrella is lying in wait for the winner of this match. Who's it going to be? We go for now. Hatch first. Standard opener here out of SHIN. He's going to be easing his way in here. Just waking up in the early morning in Korea. And Foxer, I mean, he has been known for his TVZ. I do recall Foxer impressing a lot of viewers, a lot of players as well in EPT Americas when he did compete in last season. So definitely has a lot of potential as a player, definitely. But can he compare to SHIN? As SHIN is an ex-champion of the Ursasaurus Cup, even defeating Bjorn in that finals. Again, SHIN has been on fire recently, defeating players like Bjorn, defeating Clem. He took down Max Pax last week. It's been impressive. Very impressive. But a lot of it does come down to his playstyle. It does come down to how aggressive SHIN is. And how difficult he can be to read. Oh. It's Foxer with the spray. Let's go. Does throw down the GG. Moving out with the Reaper. Overlord will confirm it's not 2-Rax Reaper. Link speed is already on the way. SHIN does actually avoid his third. Interesting. So SHIN opening up 2 base. No third in sight. Reaper dipping in. Will threaten the natural. SHIN will zone away. And it's on Foxer to get a read on what's going on, but he's going to be denied. And Queen is in position. Foxer behind this going 3cc. Third CC before starports. Third base now being taken. Is a delayed third for SHIN. But he hasn't lost anything yet. Just a very late third base. Yeah, I'm curious. It almost looked like SHIN was expecting 2-Rax Reaper. Meanwhile, it's going to be 3cc 2-on-1. Let's go. Second Rax is on the way. Now, what this means, that's the initial Reaper will threaten a dive, is that back at home, Foxer, he's building up towards a stim timing. Going to be rushing into stim, rushing into a starport with reactor with Medivacs, into a marine push. Now, because it's 3cc, that does mean that you have some extra Hellions. We should be getting up to 4 Hellions at most before pulling away. I say 4 Hellions at most, it is going to be 2 Hellions. Just a lower Hellion count. It's Yad on top. Into reactor, into starport. Now, because this is the 3-base set, the 3-base variation of this, it does mean that this will be a bit of a later timing and a bit of a later stim than normal. So SHIN has more time to drone, to be greedy, to drone up, and to saturate his bases. We'll see if he does. As the Hellions are forced back. Queens are keeping up. Yeah, that is quite a heavy queen count here for SHIN. Hellions do get into the mineral line. They will get a drone. 2 even. 2 workers go down. Roach Warren's on the way, which I did expect. Reaper gets into the main. Where is revealed, but I believe the Roach Warren has not. Quickly checking. Yeah, Foxer has no eyes on the Roach Warren. SHIN saturating his bases, moving out with Lings, and behind this, getting ready for Roach production instead. Likewise, Shin is also... Ah, never mind. I was going to say he's in the dark, but he was able to scout earlier with the Overlord. Did get eyes on the production, on the setup. Shin knows. Shin is fully aware that he has a little bit more time to drone before being forced to make an army. This Foxer is breaking out. Getting his third. At almost the 6-minute mark. Foxer does move out with his timing. Has stim. And Shin should be ready for this. Let's go 24 Lings. More Lings are on the way. Queen's been rolled together. It is still a very threatening army. Shin has to be very careful. Foxer almost gets a queen. Foxer going to be rotating. More Lings are amassing. Pushes him in. And Shin will be able to surround. Another medic! Oh my god! A bit of miscontrol out of Foxer. That should not have happened. Foxer boosted in instead of boosting away. That was a full medevac going down. No. And with that, he's vulnerable back at home. Goes for a stim. Shin will not try to surround, but honestly, he could. He could try to catch out this army. Shin backs up. And Shin has map control. Behind this, Shin taking a fourth, joining up behind this, getting to his Ravagers. +1 range is on the way. Now, I imagine we're going into +1 melee after range, but we'll see. If it goes into +2, I mean, that's going to be a tell of just purely Roach Ravager. Yeah, Shin is on 3-base saturation, and he's not droning. Uh-oh. Yeah, Shin is not droning. He's committing. He's going for a massive 1-1 timing. Rocks are being knocked down. Scan reveals the army. What do we have to defend? We have 1 bunker, so we have 2 bunkers on the way. Soon to be 3 bunkers. Tanks are still getting in position as well. Boys are being pulled. The Lings are flooding in. They're going for the tanks. Trying to come in for a surround. Bit of an awkward angle here for Shin. Files will connect with the Marines to get on top of the Ravagers. Not a bad fight out of Foxer, but it's still not enough. GG gets called. Shin will overwhelm. And Shin takes game number 1. GG. Shin just going for a 1-1 timing off of 3 bases. Again, cut workers at what, 64? And just sent everything across the map. It was really unfortunate that Foxer had lost the initial drop. Now, what that meant was, it wasn't just Foxer losing a full medevac of Marines, but he lost map control and map presence. I mean, if he had kept it alive, it isn't about, you know, getting damage. It's about keeping an eye on the drone count, on the saturation, on the army as well, on keeping the creep at bay, and getting an eye on any kind of move out like this. Alas, Foxer lost the medevac, and Foxer was in the dark. GG. GG, well played. With that, Shin takes the first game. Now we're jumping into game number 2. Let's go. If you recall, Foxer, before that even, he lost his Hellions, lost his drop, had nothing on the map to kind of get a read on what was happening and what Shin was going for. And now he's up against the wall, but we'll see if he can bounce back here in game 2. We shall see. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Amphion, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Gaming Gladiators. It is Shin. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the American Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Berserker Esports. It is Foxer. Changing his color. Interesting. Does change his color here. No longer yellow, is red. Shin is opening up pool first. Interesting. Now, the reason why you can go pool first on this map is because of the Reaper attack path. What I mean by that, the initial Reaper that's being built back at home for Foxer is going to go right through the middle. We do have a nice little path here to move out of the natural and into the natural base of SHIN. So we have a direct path. Does mean the Reaper gets across the map a little bit faster, but because of that, if SHIN were to go for a pool first, if SHIN were to move out with Lings, they would naturally avoid the Reaper path. They would go the long way around towards the right hand side, and ideally they can get across the map, hit the natural, and delay the CC. So that is a unique feature specifically on Amphion, is that the Reaper naturally does kind of head in the opposite direction. As I say that though, we are not making any Lings. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Ling production has been delayed in favor of a queen, so this is a very safe opener by SHIN. Very safe. So pull first into a queen. Overlord does confirm that it was a standard opener, and because of that, I do favor Foxer's position. The SV does get eyes on the late expansion, so you can... Foxer is overreacting. Okay. I mean, I guess this works out. Foxer is looking for the Lings. I mentioned before that if you go pull first, the Lings, they will avoid the Reaper, and Foxer is looking for them. Checking is looking for those Lings that don't exist. And SHIN is going to be able to just happily drone up to this queen. Reaper will bypass, going for the mineral line. Dipping into the main. And the game will progress from here. Behind this, Foxer going for a third CC. And yeah, just a really interesting start by SHIN. Again, more than anything, more of just a safe opener, getting into early queen production. Once again, it felt like SHIN was trying to hard counter 2x Reaper, but as we saw, it's a standard opener. So I do think I still like Foxer's position a little bit more, considering the game state. And the same as last game, Foxer is going for a third CC into a 2-1-1. So once again, he's going to be pulling off of Hellion production a little bit earlier, getting 4 Hellions at the most, into an add-on swap, into Marine production, into Stim. Ooh, this game, Foxer only making a single Hellion. So trying to be a little bit faster when it comes to the transition, and trying to cut some corners in a sense. Pulling further back. Starport's out on the way. There's the add-on swap. Stim is in production. Now the downside is that Foxer has that much less map control because he's only got 1 Hellion. But as long as he keeps it alive, it's going to be okay. To make sure he keeps an eye on any kind of move out. We saw last game that the Hellions were thrown away for a drone. I think 2 workers even. So Fox is going to be a little bit more careful, more attentive. As SHIN is droning up. And so far it's too early for any kind of big signs of aggression. There's no extra gases, there's no Roach Warren. Speaking of, SHIN going for a Baleen Nest before expansion. Interesting. SHIN is playing so safely here. I mean, he did scout earlier, he did scout the 2-1-1. But it's 3cc, and now SHIN confirms. There we go. SHIN, he slips in, gets eyes on the expansion.
Ready. Here comes a new challenger.
SHIN is an event joyer. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, SHIN playing very safely is going to be a little bit punished for it. As the Baleen Nest is done, but we can't really make use of the Banelings at the moment. Getting to +1 carapace, now taking his gases, and taking his 4th. SHIN will catch the Hellion. Not a bad start. Double drop towards the left. Overlord will confirm. SHIN getting in position. Yeah, the queens do rotate. And SHIN starts up the lair. Jump into the main. Queens will deny. Foxer is still going to try to commit, though. Diving further in. But he's trying to. Now, one of the big features, of course, of this map is how secure this threat is. You have to knock down rocks or mine through minerals to actually gain access to this area, this location. And it is leading to a longer game state, as SHIN is taking up into Hydras. So this time it's going to be Ling main Hydra out of SHIN. Oh, she's still looking for damage. Doesn't quite find any. But again, at least this time Foxtree does keep these Marines alive. Denying some creep, keeping an eye on any kind of move outs. Fourth base getting up and running. SHIN even mining through those minerals. Getting ready for a push in that direction. Getting ready. Likewise, folks are getting a fourth. Not going for a 3-way soul in. 4 CCs on the way. It is also building up. I do think it's on Foxer to be more active, to deny an expansion. 5th base is on the way. Looks like Foxer is headed in that direction. But SHIN likewise is keeping up. And Foxer doesn't check. He scans, he's looking for a base, and we'll find it. Yeah, the 5th expansion is spotted. And Foxer should be able to force a cancel. Oh! Gonna cancel the expansion. Triple jump towards the left-hand side. Foxer is gaining ground, takes down the macro hatchery. Not bad. Ooh. Does bleed out some Marines. Ready to drop into the main. So far, SHIN is keeping up. Unfortunately, no anti-air, so can't really do much about the drop. Foxer is holding his own. Behind this, Ghost production. Ghost Academy's on the way. Primaries are done. 2-2's almost finished up as well. And because of the setup here, because of the creep being denied, and because of how narrow this choke point is as well, Foxer, he can actually send his army right through towards the natural. That's another big factor about this map. As SHIN is expanding on the right-hand side, is that Foxer, if he can break the natural, he can just end the game. As he gains access to the main, and he gains access to all of this tech. The Hydra Den, the Baneling Nest, the Hive as well. It's all a little bit more vulnerable here on this map. Assuming Foxer pushes in. We're now dropping on the right. SHIN double expanding. SHIN trying to set up. Oh! Catching out the Marines. Tankstar sees but SHIN, he doesn't turn back. He's committing. Going for the Planetary. Planetary goes down. SCVs as well. But he cannot fight the main army. SHIN, he has to back off. He does get the expansion. At the same time, folks are pushing towards the hybrid base. It looks like SHIN is going to be able to hold on to it. It does get on top of the Marines, takes down the tanks as well. Nice clean up here by SHIN. Failing to survive. And SHIN holds. At the same time, Medivacs under fire. SHIN is keeping up. Lurker Den's on the way. SHIN getting some Link Bane Hydra Lurker. Hive is done. And yeah, it's just such an awkward kind of map here where folks are trying to push on two ends at once, on opposite sides. He isn't quite able to. Creep is respreading. Foxtrot is yet to really expand and establish his base. And that means that SHIN is going to be able to max out first. With the first to max, the creep is looking quite impressive. And I don't see Foxtrot saving this base. Like, the planetary, it's so exposed, so out in the open. It's why usually Terran players, they take this hybrid base first and even expand northwards. Meanwhile, SHIN taking another base, setting up for the planetary. We'll see if Foxtrot can hold. Planetary is being rebuilt, but it's such a late expansion for Foxtrot. And here comes the Ling Bane. Once again, going for the expansion. Planetary goes down. That's all that SHIN needed. That's all he wanted. Here he can back up. The Lunkers are coming. Nidus Worm is done. Lunkers are on the way. It's going to be 9 Lurkers here for SHIN. Foxtrot, no! He's not looking! Foxtrot not quite paying attention, takes massive aliens to the face. SHIN still barely keeping these tumors alive, keeping them active. To make sure that Foxtrot cannot push in. Again, it's so important that he does so. If you ever lose control of this position, we spoke about it earlier, but like there's just so much tech that's exposed. Nice into the main. Oh. Which shouldn't finish. This one is denied. Back up Nidus within range of the tank. Foxtrot is re-expanding. God, that's a massive line of tanks. But that's what the Vipers are for. There's 4 Vipers ready for this. Nidus run back into the main base. This time tank not quite in position. Uh-oh. The Nidus is going to finish. And the Lurkers are inside. It's going to be happening. It's going to be 9 Lurkers for SHIN. Nidus Worm completes. He's going for the main. He's going for the production. Oh, and the Ghosts are going down. Massive pickoffs. And this may just be the move that SHIN was waiting for. So on top of the production, Raxes are going down. Will force Foxtrot to respond. Yeah, tanks on siege. And they're trying to push up a ramp. Oh god. First tank goes down. Not like this. At the same time, SHIN collapses on the left-hand base. Planetary goes down. 14 workers. And SHIN is just pulling Foxtrot apart. The one Nidus in the main. It can sometimes just end the game. Lurkers going further in. Oh my god, the Lurkers are going to be cleaned up, but they more than pay for themselves. They deny the expansion, took down Raxus, 21 SCVs, and the planetary. And now SHIN is remaxed. It is remaxed. If he wanted to, he could go back into the main as well. The Nidus is still there. Not anymore. This is cleaned up. Vipers are almost killing their own building. They're getting ready. Goal here is to abduct a blinding cloud. There is no planetary. Just orbitals. And SHIN is collapsing in. EMPs, some of them connect. Some, but not all. Still get the blinding clouds off. Tanks still, they do nothing. Bailey's, they crash into the natural. Getting into the production. And they chase down the Ghosts. Decent splits here by Foxer, but it's a numbers game at this point. Lings, they flood into the natural as well. Tanks are cleaned up, and Shin, he's just snowballing out of control at this point. Foxer cannot keep up. The bases are falling. Ghost getting caught out. GG gets called, and Shin will take the series 2-0. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Shin will take the series. Again, Shin, he came in as the favored player. Foxer was able to look a little bit stronger in this game than he did in game number 1, I will say. He was able to get into the mid game, of course, able to avoid any kind of crazy all-ins. Unfortunately, Foxer was unable to save the 4th, though. The moments that Foxer lost the expansion on the left-hand side, that was kind of the moments that Foxer lost any kind of momentum. It was just kind of stuck defending, stuck on the back foot. Foxer could not really maintain himself, and eventually was overwhelmed. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations, as Shin will take the series. And we already have our next opponent. As a reminder, earlier we were casting Honmono versus Estrella, and Estrella has been patiently waiting. He's been waiting patiently here for his next opponent. Up next, Shin versus Estrella. Let's go. We are entering the round of 16.